Well, this is a really wonderful time of year, and I hope you all had a really great Christmas. And what's next? Well, of course, New Year's. And whether you're a longtime subscriber to our mailing list or if you just signed up yesterday, Glenn and I would like to thank you for being a part of all this and allowing us to share with you our message of inspiration and possibility. And we're definitely making it a priority to continue offering great content as we move forward into this new year. Now, of course, this is the gift-giving time of year, and the gift Glenn and I would like to offer you today is very special. For many of you, maybe the most important thing we could offer you right now, and that's the gift of hope. Hope that 2017, this new year, can indeed be different for you than 2016 and earlier had been for you. You know, the new year always brings an opportunity for new beginnings. And I'm bringing this up now because Glenn and I have been in this business a long time, and we know there are all too many among you that are watching this video right now that have struggled with trichotillomania for a long, long time. Maybe so long you've come to believe you're stuck with it. Maybe you've tried everything you know how. Therapists, medications, I don't know, headbands, bandanas, gloves on your hands, grease on your fingertips, snapping rubber bands on your wrist every time you feel the urge to pull. That's a lot, and we get that. And if you've gotten to the point where after all that, maybe you've just given up, we understand that as well. It can be just downright exhausting. And so what I'm really here for today, my message is to encourage you to forget about all that. I want you to forget about all the things you've tried in the past that didn't work and to put all that stuff behind you. Because if you don't put it behind you, it would make sense that all you can see is what's still in front of you. All the attempts, all the frustration, all the pain, embarrassment, and humiliation, and that can be hard to look at. Sometimes it feels easier just to look the other way. Sometimes it's easier just to stop trying. Now, that said, I wonder, what if you could put all the pain, embarrassment, and humiliation of all those past defeats truly behind you? What if that mental block right in front of you, which is really what it's been, was out of there? I mean, just out of your way. So that when you think about trying again, you could genuinely experience an open mind toward new ideas and new ways of doing things. Maybe a brand new sense of hope about what's possible for you. Well, guess what? It turns out you literally can put all the junk in your past behind you. And when that mental block, so to speak, is out of there, it's far easier to see the possibilities that have always been in front of you that you weren't able to see before because you had the blinders on. So would you like to learn how to do this? Now, you can do this exercise with anything from your past that continues to bother you. Maybe it's something that happened recently or maybe a very long time ago. Maybe someone treated you harshly and it still hurts. Maybe a breakup of an important relationship. Maybe you didn't get the grade you wanted in school or that pay raise or that promotion. But if you're one of those who've decided that just because all the stuff you tried in the past to conquer your challenges with trichotillomania didn't work, you think nothing's ever going to work, well, I think this exercise is going to be particularly meaningful for you. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take just a moment to think about something from your past that you really do wish you could let go of, but perhaps you haven't been able to just yet. Maybe because of what happened, you're feeling stuck, even paralyzed by fear and doubt. Fear, just for example, that the next thing you try to help you beat your trichotillomania will also not work. But you see, here's the good news, and I really want you to fully consider this possibility. The past does not equal the future. You may have heard me say this before. See, the first thing you need to think about is just because all these other things you've tried in the past hadn't worked to help you beat your trichotillomania, that has nothing whatsoever to do with what could be possible for you if you try something different. And that only stands to reason, doesn't it? So let's do this now. Let's go ahead and have you think about this thing in your life that you know you'd like to be able to finally let go of, if only you knew how. I want you to close your eyes and just sort of bring up a picture in your mind's eye of whatever this thing is. When you think about this thing that bothers you so much, for example, all the failures you've experienced in the past when you really did your best to try to beat your trichotillomania, just kind of notice what comes up for you. What comes to mind when you think about this? What sort of just naturally shows up for you when you think about this? What is it you see? What comes up on its own? Now, you'll know you have it when, as you look at this thing in your mind's eye, you can really feel those feelings of, for example, pain, failure, disappointment, frustration, whatever it might be for you as an individual. Now, when you have this, the first thing I want you to do is quickly rate the intensity of your bad feelings about this on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 meaning you don't feel a thing, in which case you should probably choose a different situation from your past to be thinking about. And 10 meaning the worst possible mental or emotional pain you could be feeling because of what happened back then or what didn't work. And when you have that, here's what I want you to do next. I want you to imagine just sort of picking all that stuff up in front of you and mentally placing it behind you, say maybe 20 feet behind you. It's an unusual request and you can do it. Take all the time you need until you just kind of have the sense that all that junk is back there behind you. When you're pretty sure that's the case, ask yourself where you are now on a scale of 0 to 10. If you're like most people, you'll probably notice that literally having put this thing behind you, you're feeling noticeably better now. And now let's take it a step further. Let's have you now mentally place this image 50 feet behind you. Do you have any idea where in three-dimensional space 50 feet behind you would actually be? Take a moment and get clear on where exactly that probably is. And once you've done that, send that junk even further behind you now, all the way back to 50 feet behind you. And when you're sure you have that, take a moment and ask yourself, where would you say you are now on a scale of 0 to 10? Go ahead and be aware of that stuff way behind you and rate your feelings on a scale of 0 to 10. Again, if you're like most people, you'll probably notice that your feelings about the situation have come down even further. Now, just in case you're not all the way down to a 0 yet, ask yourself, how far behind you does this thing need to go in order for the feelings to be totally gone, totally emotionally neutralized? 100 feet? 500 feet? 1,000 feet? A mile? 10 miles? 100 miles? Mentally test each of those possibilities, and you may notice the answer comes to you immediately without having to actually mentally test each of those possibilities. And when you know what that is, just send that junk back as far behind you as it needs to go for you to be sure it's back there and it's gone and it's out of your life for good now. Take all the time you need to be sure you've done that now. And when you have done that, feel free to open your eyes and come on back into the room. Okay, great job. Let's go ahead and stretch out a bit, move your body around. Take a few deep breaths now. Ready? Let's breathe in deep, all the way in. And just let it go very slowly. Very good. Let's try it again one more time. And then breathe out. That's great. Now, I want you to take just a moment and notice, perhaps with some delight, how you may be free to feel differently about that old, outdated situation in the past that used to bother you so much. If you did this exercise thinking about all the disappointing experiences you'd had in the past trying to cure your trichotillomania, notice how you may be free to feel differently about trying something totally new and totally different now. You know, if you're like most people, chances are you're going to notice a brand new sense of possibility for yourself. Sort of like a brand new slate, a fresh willingness to give something else a try now. Something that's totally different from whatever you've tried before. Why something totally different? Well, you know, if you're going to try something totally different, you're likely to get totally different results, right? So go ahead now and hit the reply button below and talk to us, okay? Let us know what you worked on and how well did this work for you. Did you find yourself able to feel really differently now about that old situation that you used to, maybe just 5 or 10 minutes ago, feel bad about? Pretty cool stuff, huh? So I'm Robert Mantell. If you're watching this video anywhere but our blog site, feel free to visit our website at www.TRICH-FREE.com and say hello to us. Our website is our central hub where all the good stuff happens. We have links there to our sister blog site where we have loads of written articles and helpful videos dating back at least several years now. You'll be able to access a lot of great information and helpful information there. We also have a very active social media presence, including our Facebook community page, now with nearly 25,000 followers, our Twitter feed, and our YouTube channel. And you can find links to all these places across the top of each of our web pages, again at www.TRICH-FREE.com. Thanks again for watching. And remember this, the past does not equal the future. The future is something you create every moment of every day. Create great moments and your future will be great as well. Happy New Year. Glenn, I hope to meet you personally in 2017. Take care, and here's wishing you an amazing trick-free week.